Newcastle 1, Manchester United 0. Another terrible performance. An absolutely disgraceful performance from Manchester United yet again. I mean, these players are an absolute disgrace. It's not looking good for Ten Hag. Our season is just going the same way it started. It's abysmal. It's not getting any better. Every time, there's a glimmer of hope, they show up the next game and they just shit all over it. And I'm absolutely tired of it. And I'm gonna start off with this because I think it's important, and I'm gonna Ten Hag has to get blame for today. But I want to do this first because as much as he deserves his blame, and I'm gonna give it to him, there's far greater blame that has to go on these players, and there's far bigger problems still at this club that are bigger than him and won't be solved with him being here or without him being here. So just right away, I mean, I was not happy with the team selection at all. Don't understand why Scott McTominay is playing. He scores a goal, but he offers literally nothing else. And when he doesn't score a goal, what good is he for? Because he's not doing anything for the squad. I mean, the guy, I'm literally calling him Mick Hide and Seek because that's what he did. He left that poor kid Kobe Mainu by himself in the midfield to get absolutely swamped. I mean, but we'll get on to that. But team choices, not happy about the players he started. Rashford wasn't there for the Galatasaray match. Was available. Took Anthony out. I think Anthony had a good performance. I think Rashford's been poor the whole season, and I think Garnacho has earned his right. And I think Marcus Rashford should have started on the bench, and he proved me right. It only took 30 minutes of the first half, but he proved me right because he shouldn't be starting. And I don't understand why Anthony Martial is getting a start over Hoyland. So poor team choices. The tactics today weren't up to par. It was very clear from the first 15, 20 minutes. I mean, we were getting exposed on the left wing, we were getting exposed on the right wing. Um, and personally, we're lucky we didn't concede 3 or 4. I mean, we should have been absolutely just humiliated and embarrassed. We are lucky to only lose 1-0, and I just the tactical things weren't correct. Um, and he didn't adjust. He didn't try to adjust fast enough. And this is one of his problems because he is very stubborn. And when he sets up in a certain way, he's not gonna in his mind he's not gonna panic 20 minutes in and start changing everything around. He tries to stick with it, but there are some times where you have to accept that it just isn't gonna work. And I mean, I think everybody could tell within the first 15 minutes we were getting absolutely destroyed. I mean, and it didn't matter which side they went down, the left side, the right side. I mean, we were so exposed, and I was surprised that they didn't score more. How they didn't score more goals, because I felt like we were going to concede 3 just in the first half. Just by how exposed we were. I mean, every time they got the ball, I don't know, Wan-Bissaka's playing center mid. He's tucked inside, and you got Anthony Gordon running down the wing by himself because Rashford doesn't want to track back. So the whole thing was just a disaster. And the other important thing that I got to put on here is the fact that Eric Ten Hag has to stop relying on these players that he's trying to rely on, because they've already let him down multiple times, but they've let the 3 previous managers before him down. And they got all of them sacked. And if he keeps continuing to try and rely on these players, and if he keeps trying to trust these players, he's going to get sacked. They're going to get him sacked because they don't have it in them. They don't have it in them. They don't have the mentality. They don't have the attitude, and they don't have the talent. Okay? They're selfish and they're weak-minded. and they only care about themselves. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about the manager, right? They only care about their image and their what anything that has to do with them. So they never look in the mirror. They never accept responsibility that I could do better. You're getting paid a lot of money. You're actually all getting overpaid because Newcastle's top earner makes 150,000 a week. That's their top earner. And how many people? I think that's our minimum earner is 150,000 a week. So you players at Manchester United for that shit performance you're putting out there, right? Where you got completely run off the pitch by a team, by players that are making not even, you're making double to triple what they make, and they outperformed you and they outplayed you and they embarrassed you in front of the entire world. And you think that it's not you, it's just the manager, and you're God's golden child. I mean, I'm done with these players. I'm done with these players. But Ten Hag, he really needs to he really needs to get his stuff going. And something I was thinking about is it's very concerning from those quotes that he made a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really think about it at the time. Like, I did agree with what he was saying, but now seeing these performances, I'm starting to think back to when he said that we will never he we will never play football at Manchester United the way he was doing it at Ajax. And initially I said 100% I agree because you don't have the players. You don't have the players. But now the way I'm looking at it, it's like it's a bigger problem because basically what he's saying or what this means is that there is no way for him to coach these players to learn that style. There's no grandmaster plan that he's going to transform any of these players or this team to play anywhere similarly close to what they were doing at Ajax, which is a big letdown for all of us because that's what we were really excited about was the football that he was playing at Ajax. It closely resembled what Manchester United has always played. It's quick, exciting, attacking, and we're quickly realizing, and I think he said it without actually saying it, and he's saying, listen, there's absolutely no way that's ever going to happen. This group of players, they can't do it. They don't understand instructions. They don't have the ability. And there's no way that the club is going to allow me to clear all of these players to bring in players that are going to fit the style that I had at Ajax and the way that I actually want to play. So he has essentially conformed into playing the way Manchester United has been trying to play for the past 10 years, which is basically counterattack, reactive instead of proactive, drop back, soak up the pressure, and hit on the counter. And that's very concerning because that means that we have brought in a manager to not play his ideas and his football and his philosophy, but to conform to our football and our shit philosophy and ideas that hasn't worked in the past 10 years. And if you want to cut it in half, hasn't worked in the past 5 years. So it's very concerning. I don't know how you're going to fix that other than he gets sacked and we end up with a manager that either fits this counter-attacking style or some miracle if Sir Jim does something where they're allowed to start just changing everything and then you start from there. But back onto the match because we're going to try and get through this quickly. My biggest question, and I have the answer for it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How does this team, these group of players, how do you go from the Galatasaray performance to this performance at Newcastle when Galatasaray was a more hostile environment? I mean, these players looked like they didn't even want to go to play today. They looked like they'd rather be in bed sleeping. There was no determination. There was no desire to win. There was no drive. There was no nothing. I'm watching players walking around. I'm watching players jog. I'm watching players let the opposing team win 50-50s that with ease that you can't even call it a 50-50. It was 100% to the other player and 0% to us. I mean, absolutely disgraceful performances. Disgraceful performances by all of the players. The low was horrible. Wan-Bissaka was horrible. Rashford, absolutely atrocious, disgusting performance. I can't. I'm so mad at the guy. I don't even want to see him play. I don't want to see him play. He should be benched for the rest of the season. Martial, disgusting performance. Garnacho, the kid tried, but when you have 8 other players and they're all supposed to be your senior pros and they're just you know doing fuck all on the field. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? He tried his best impression to become Cristiano and dribble 7 players and do everything himself, but at the end of the day, he's a kid. So you know what? Like I can't even criticize him that much. And the same for Kobe Mainu. I mean, kid got absolutely deserted by his supposed partner Scott McTominay, um, who just went absolutely missing because he got bullied off the ball. I mean, I've never seen somebody that size be afraid to go for a tackle to get physical. I mean, I don't know what's up with this guy. So just horrible, horrible. But I just don't understand how they did so well to put in such an effort, and that's the effort we want to see every game. We want to see the effort that they put at Galatasaray every single game because that's what you're supposed to do when you put on a Manchester United fucking kit. And when you go on that field and you represent the club and the millions of and hundreds of millions of fans around the world, right? And they can't do it. They can't do it or they won't do it. And either one is not acceptable to be at this club. And it's come to the point, you know what? You could ask for the manager to be sacked and the manager can get as much blame as you want, but that's fine. But there's been a lot of players that have been here through 3 managers already and they've got them sacked, right? So I, as a fan, cannot sit here and say, let's sack the manager when those players are still here. Those players need to go first. They need out. Kick them out. Rip up their fucking contract. Kick them out. They do not deserve to be at this club. They do not deserve to get the wage they are fucking getting. We pay for their wage. We pay for their wage. We buy the shit. It's our eyes the advertisers are paying for, right? We pay their wage. They don't deserve the wage. They're not worthy of the wage. They're not worthy of wearing the badge. They need out. I mean, Harry Maguire today was our best, and I think even the last one I might argue, but today especially, Harry Maguire was our best player on the pitch. He is my man of the match, and he is our best player. Now, you explain to me how a player that was arguably our worst player and putting in the worst performances at the club for a long period of time has now managed to come into the squad and perform better than every single other player in this team. How has that player now, I mean, for all the criticism that Harry Maguire has ever gotten, for all the fuck-ups and all the mistakes, Harry Maguire today was one of the only players, barring maybe 2 other ones, that was trying to win the match. He was the only one that was on that field that actually gave a shit about the club, about getting the win. He was the only one. So you explain to me how a player that was getting absolutely ripped apart by all the fans, was getting embarrassed publicly, was getting shit all over, has now come back from the bottom of the depths, right? To be our best player. It says a lot about him, yeah, but it says a lot about the rest of our players. And in fact, it says a lot more about the rest of our players. It just shows how weak they are mentally and how bad of an attitude they have. I mean, their attitude must be horrible. I can only imagine what they're like when the camera isn't on them, when they're not in the public eye. These players must be some of the most despicable people that you could probably ever meet. Because I'm fed up with these players. I'm fed up with these players. I'm not here. I'm not backing any of them anymore. I'm fucking done with them. They have to go. They have to go. And whoever's to do it, that's when we start. Because this will never change. You sack Ten Hag, bring in 25 more managers. It ain't gonna fucking change. Change the players, change the people above Ten Hag. You want change? That's the change you need. Then, once all that shit's in place, manager can be the main focus. But we have toxic loser mentality players from just losing for the past 5 to 8 years. They are losers. They don't know how to win. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to be a Manchester United player. They are not a Manchester United player. They are fucking imposters. And they need to go. And they need to go. I mean, McTominay should never wear a Manchester United shirt again. Should never wear a Manchester United shirt again. And Anthony Martial, he's right there because, you know what? He had a shit performance. I don't think he even deserved to start today, right? Because I think Højlund is 3 times the player he is, and I think Højlund provides 3 times the amount that this guy does, right? And he started today, and what really pissed me off was that he had the balls when the manager is screaming at him, right? As a manager should do when the player's not doing what he's supposed to be doing on the fucking pitch. And this guy had the nerve to turn towards Erik Ten Hag and start fucking going like this and arguing with him. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You lucky you still play for this fucking club. You bum. You are a bum. Out, out, out. If I was the manager, they're not fucking playing for me. They're not playing. Then I don't care. Fucking sack me. Do whatever you want. They're not playing for me, bro. They're not playing. Martial, never playing for me. Rashford, I'm fucking dropping him to the bench for the rest of the season unless he wants to stop being a pouty little bitch and actually fucking play. Because what I seen from Rashford, and I seen him do it in a couple of the games, and I didn't say nothing because I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm finished. I'm finished with it. You cannot do that. And everybody's seen the clip of him fucking walking. You walk. A professional soccer player getting paid fucking $300,000 a week, and you're fucking walking. You're giving up on the play. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You're not Ronaldo. You're not Messi. And you know why? Because those fucking players wouldn't do that shit anyway. That's why they're great and you're fucking not. None of the players, none of them worked hard. They were lazy. There was no determination. And it's just, we're fucked. We're fucked. We're fucked. It's all gone to shit. And you know what? It's to the point where I don't even care what happens anymore. Because, I'm getting aggravated. My mental health is suffering from these assholes when they don't give a shit. And they go home and they look at their fucking bank account and they know that they're robbing the club blind because they shouldn't be getting this money. And I will never say fire this manager, but at this point, whatever the fuck they decide to do, if they fire him, whatever. Because this shit isn't going to change. The only way, get rid of the players, get rid of the people above the manager, bring in football people, and let those football people bring in the correct type of players with a plan of the way we want to play football and a modern way of playing football, a modern Manchester United way. That means attacking, desire to win every game, non-stop running, determination, all of that shit. That has to be what it has to be. I just, I can't keep going around in circles. I mean, Ten Hag's doing shit that's absolutely questionable. And if we were in a normal situation, all the focus would 100% have to be on him, and he'd really have to be asking questions. But I don't know what the fuck is going on at this club anymore. I don't know. I mean, how is he still? How is he? How has he brung in Amrabat? And he's playing Scott McTominay when he wanted to sell Scott McTominay. When he tried to sell Scott McTominay, when he refused to play Scott McTominay for fucking weeks. And now Scott McTominay is our starter. And not even that. Bruno is playing fucking deep. And Scott McTominay is playing cam. Scott McTominay is afraid of the ball. Scott McTominay can't pick a fucking pass. No better than Stevie Wonder. And he's fucking blind. I just don't know, dude. I don't know. And there's nothing to even analyze about that game because it was so fucking shit. It was so crap. There's no analyzing. I swear to God, I seen these players walking. I mean, Marcus Rashford got beat and fucking walked back. Didn't even try to help get the ball back. Didn't try to provide any cover to his fucking right back. And then proceeded to do one of these. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm jogging. You see me moving my feet? Fucking jogging. Bro, you can't even jog in Sunday League. You know what happens when you jog in Sunday League? They fucking pull you out. It's just a disgrace. And, you know, I wrote this, and this is going to be it, and we're going to end the video after this. Mini player ratings, Delo, 2, trash. Wan-Bissaka, 2, was trash. They got absolutely ripped apart. They got absolutely cooked today. For 90 fucking minutes. Cooked. Every play, cooked. Maguire, 8, man of the match. The only fucking player that actually was trying to win the game, other than his other center-back partner, Shaw, who I gave a 7 to. Because those two were the only ones that actually did what they were supposed to do, and they were the only ones that actually tried. Bruno, 5. 6 is average. He was below average. 5. Mano, I give him a 6 because what the fuck was the kid supposed to do? You know? And I still don't think he did anything wrong. I still didn't see him lose the ball. I didn't see him do anything wrong. So he's just getting an average for me because he's a kid and he's excused at this moment for this absolute shit show that these players are showing. McTominay, 0. Rashford, 0. Garnacho, gave him a 5 because, you know, he tried, and I can't help him, but he just wasn't. It just wasn't happening for him today. He couldn't beat anybody. He was losing the ball. So I don't want to criticize him too much, but 5. You know what I mean? Like, just he was slightly below average. Martial, 0. Amrabat, for the time he was in, he did all right. There was some shit that he did that I didn't like. He gets a 5. Regulon and Hoyland, they both get 6 because I don't think that they were on for too long for the score to go lower. And I think they tried to have an impact. Regulon almost scored what would be somehow a miracle of a tying goal for us. And Onana, I give him a 5 because I don't think he did anything really wrong too much. I mean, he had some questionable, like, weird stuff that he was doing when he was coming out trying to punch the ball. It was just didn't look confident to do right. But other than that, you know, what did he really do wrong? So, and Ten Hag, I'm gonna have to give him a 3 today. Just for everything. I mean, took too long to make substitutions, too long to do everything pretty much. Got the tactics wrong, got the team selection wrong. So yeah, he gets a 3, and he needs to change whatever the hell he's doing. He needs to change because it's not working. It's not going to work. And it's going to get him sacked. And I wrote this in capital letters, and this is what we're gonna end the show with. I wrote, Ten Hag has to realize the same players that got Ranić that got Ali and Mourinho sacked, if he doesn't get him out of the team, they will get him sacked. If he doesn't stop relying on these players, they will get him sacked. They've done it 3 times already. They're going to do it for a fourth. They cannot be trusted. They should not be trusted, and they should not be relied on because they shouldn't be at this club. And everybody knows why they're here. It's the way we are run. We are not run like a proper football club. We are not run like a serious football club. And it will continue to be like this until real changes are made. Some would argue those changes won't happen unless the fucking Glazes are completely gone. But let's see what happens with this Sir Jim 25%. If he gets football operations and he's allowed to make the changes we've all been asking for, maybe, just maybe, with a stroke of luck, we might be able to fucking change our fortunes. But other than that, I'm going to go and try and enjoy the rest of my weekend because this team every weekend tries to give me a heart attack and destroy my my mental my mental health and my fucking happiness. So other than that, I will see you guys later. Have a good rest of your evening or a good morning or a good night wherever you're watching. We'll obviously be back sometime in the next week. If anything big breaks, like the announcement of the 25% or anything like that, we'll obviously be going to make a video. And don't worry, as always, we will definitely be giving you another one. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you later. Peace out.